one team up in Marvel Rivals Season 9 is still sitting above a 70% win rate, even after Guang Guang and the team emergency nerfed it one day into the new season. And the crazy part is, the two most trustworthy team-ups might not even be that one. Season 9, as we all know, completely blew up the old meta, so today I'm going to be breaking down the team-ups that are actually winning right now, why they work, and which numbers you should be careful not to be overreacting to. What is going on, everybody? This is Brolixon here, and welcome back to another video. If you're looking for Marvel Rivals content every Tuesday and Thursday, as well as additional uploads whenever major patches or balance changes drop, you are in the right place. So if that sounds good to you, I would really appreciate you subscribing and hitting that notification button below. It means a lot and helps a lot. Thank you very much. Now, one quick note, jump in. These are live Season 9 third-party tracker stats, so this will move around. Well, the stats, they will move around. That matters because some of the highest win rates have way smaller, match samplings than others, so that's going to continue to grow. And, for this list, I'm both looking at how strong the numbers are and how much I actually trust them. Season 9, as we know, introduced those regenerative shields, overhauled the team-up system, and slowed Ultimate Generation for a lot of the roster. Then, that emergency hotfix on July 11th restored Strategist healing to energy gain, nerfed Ultron's team-up with Peni, nerfed Mantis's enhanced healing with Star-Lord, and buffed Rocket's team-up with Groot. So, the goal here isn't just to read the highest number on a chart, it's to figure out which team-ups are actually shaping up the meta as we continue to move throughout Season 9. Coming in at number 5 is Ultron plus Iron Man, currently at around a 63.5% win rate across about 4.6 thousand tracked matches. I like this one because it gives you strong aerial pressure, constant poke, and lets your team force weird angles that a lot of, comps are really not that comfortable dealing with within this first week of Season 9, going into week 2 of Season 9. While this isn't the biggest sample on the list, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's secretly the best combo in the game, but it is a really nice example of how mobility plus range pressure is still thriving within this new patch, especially, with all of these changes to every single character. If your team likes to play fast and abuse vertically, this one is definitely worth trying out. At number 4, we have Mantis plus Star-Lord, which is sitting at around roughly a 64.5% win rate over 11,000 tracked matches, which is a much healthier sample. And honestly, that's what makes this one pretty interesting, because this pair got touched in the emergency hotfix. Guang Guang and the team reduce the enhanced healing that Mantis gives when she selects the team up with Star-Lord, and even after that, it's, still pretty much near the top. That usually tells us that, there's something real here. And if you've got aggressive DPS value from Star-Lord, strong sustain from Mantis, and a sample size that matters, that makes the number feel much more believable than some of the smaller outliers, then it's looking really good for this team up. If you want one of the safer, yes, this is probably actually strong team-ups, then this would be probably the best one. The Mantis plus Groot team-up at number 3. Mantis plus Groot is currently around a 65.2% win rate on roughly 7.7 thousand matches. This is one of my favorite examples of why team-ups in Season 9 are not about just raw damage, but this combo just really gives you a durable frontline shell with Groot, and strong sustain and fight control, and, if it fits the slower, more stable style of fight or team comp, then there are a lot of teams that are just defaulting to this, while the meta is still pretty chaotic. And I think that that's helpful for if you're at lower ranks and things like that. I think this team up is great for you to be trying out, especially with the over 60% win rate. Mantis herself is one of the highest win rate heroes overall right now. As we all know, she has been very great, and the team ups have favored her well, with the ability to now be played within, double support comps and things like that. Mantis is seeing a lot of favor within Season 9. So when you're attaching a strong team up to an already strong strategist, this is a really good recipe for success. So Mantis, we thank you for this season. If you're the kind of player who wants something consistent and not overly flashy, this might, be one of the most underrated strong pairings in the game. By the way, if this video is helping you figure out what's actually worth playing in Season 9, please consider subscribing, as I drop videos every Tuesday and Friday. My goal is to make this channel one of the best places to keep up with Marvel Rivals meta shifts, and every one of you, every subscriber, genuinely helps a ton. Anyway, moving on to the next team up. At number 2, we have Peni and Rocket at roughly a 68% win rate across 15,000 matches. And this is where, that trust the sample conversation, it just gets really important. 15,000 matches we're talking about here. 16,000 basically. And probably more since I've, run these numbers and things like that. Because Ultron plus Peni has the flashier number, but Peni plus Rocket has a much bigger sample when, posting an absurd win rate. I'd say that makes this one a lot more incredibly easy to take seriously with, the sampling of 16,000 matches. Rocket also received a direct buff to his team-ups with Groot in the Hotfix, and Rocket himself is one of the more stable, high-value strategists in the current hero stats. Pair that with Peni, who is already the strongest, one of the strongest performing heroes in Season 9, and it starts to make a ton of sense why this, team-up is winning so much. If you want the team-up on the list that feels the most like, yes, that is very likely a real top-tier pairing, this really honestly might be the one. So I would go ahead and try Rocket and Peni. These stats do not lie. At number 1 now, let's move into it. We have Ultron plus Peni, which we spoke about before. Right now, Ultron plus Peni is sitting at about around a 70.6% win rate, which is obviously insane, but it's doing that on a much smaller sample size of about 4.4 thousand matches. That doesn't mean the combo was fake. In fact, the most interesting thing about it is that Guang specifically nerfed this team up in the July 11th hotfix, so maybe they were worried about it, and just not many people were using it yet. They reduce the healing provided by Ultron's drones to other allies when he selects the team up with Peni, and they also increase the cooldown from 15 to 20 seconds, and yet it's still sitting at the top. Even after the nerf, it's still forcing itself into the conversation. My advice here is simple: just don't look at the 70.6 and assume it's automatically the best team up in the game. But absolutely respect it and try it, and maybe we can get the sampling of matches up higher to something closer to, Peni and Rocket, 16,000, so we can see if this is really like a viable comp, and if the win rate really backs up if the win rate continues to stay at above a 70.6%. All right, so we got some honorable mentions here. A couple quick honorable mentions. We got Loki plus Mantis, which is hovering around 66%, but that's only on a sample size of about 3.8 thousand matches. Peni and Black Panther are sitting at about 60.7%. That's only at around 5,000 matches, which is also worth monitoring, seeing what's increasing, and try to keep you guys up to date as well if these change significantly. I would say the biggest takeaway is the strongest team up is not always the one with, the single highest number of, the highest win percentage, but you really want to ask yourself whether the sample size is big enough for you to be able to trust that, and whether the, pairing survived the hot fixes or any, patches that come up in the future. That's why I keep coming back to Peni plus Rocket and Mantis plus Star-Lord as two of the safest. This is probably real, team comps, team ups. While Ultron plus Peni is one of the biggest, is the one with the biggest ceiling and the biggest headline, but not a large sample size. So if I had to sum it up right now, I'd say for the flashiest number, it's Ultron and Peni with the 70.6% win rate. For the most trustworthy elite team up, I'd say Peni plus Rocket. And for really stable, high value, a really stable, high value option, I'd keep an eye on Mantis and all of her pairings, especially just with how strong she is now. But let me know in the comments what team up has felt the strongest in your rank and in your games. If you enjoyed this video, guys, I post Marvel Rivals content every Tuesday and Friday, plus extra uploads whenever major patches or balance changes drop. So like I said before, subscribing really does a bunch for me and for my ability to put these videos out and continue to grow and make them better as well. So thank you for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Brolic Sun, out.